Stinkies. Welcome back to another video. Everybody say hi, Moose. Hi, Moose. This video is going to be a little bit different compared to the vlogs that I've been making recently. I wanted to come and talk to you guys about ways to make yourself feel better when you are, bless you, when you are feeling sad. I know that everybody just has those days where they just wake up and you just feel really, really sad. I think the days that I feel the most sad and hopeless are the days when my chronic pain flares up and I just feel so helpless. My brain automatically tells itself that this is how it's going to be forever. I'm always going to be in pain and I can't do anything about it and I can't do anything that I love. And I had one of those days recently and I was thinking about the list of things that I have designed for myself that always make me feel a little bit better about life and about my situation. And I wanted to share those in hopes that they can help someone else who is also feeling just sad. And I want to preface this with saying that it's okay to be sad. I'm not saying don't be sad. I'm not saying this will cure your sadness completely. It's okay to sit in your sadness. It's okay to realize that you're sad, sit in it, process why you're feeling that way. Sadness is an emotion that's very telling. It's coming from somewhere, from something. So maybe if you can figure out the cause of it or why you're feeling that way, that can help in the long term. That being said, I think that what has helped me a lot through this journey of my mental health is being conscious about when I am sad or when I'm depressed. And what I mean by that is not being like, oh, I'm sad, I'm just gonna sit and doom scroll on my phone all day. Then that just makes me feel even worse, to be quite honest. I get to the end of the day and I think I haven't achieved anything, and I'm also terrified of everything out there in the world because everything is so scary. So these are some alternatives to doom scrolling on your phone. That being said, my number one thing is movement. I think one of the best ways to boost your mood and to feel better is to move your body. And this can be through various different ways, from the most simple to the most extreme. But for me personally, on my days when I'm in a lot of pain, I like to do like stretches and yoga. There are 1,000 10-minute beginner yoga stretches on YouTube that you can just Google. You could just Google a YouTube right now. God, I'm so old. Another way of moving your body is going to the gym, if that's something that you like to do. I try to go to the gym 3-4 times a week, depending on how I'm doing that week. Another one of my favorite ways to move my body is to go for a walk. And this can be anything from just a regular walk around your neighborhood to hiking. I'm not really sure when a walk becomes a hike, but I'm gonna say when there's not a sidewalk involved. I think you're hiking as soon as you're on a dirt path. I like to just go for a walk around my neighborhood, and that makes me feel a lot better too. Also, if you have a dog, experts have said that taking a dog for a walk will cure all mental illness. I'm not sure if I believe experts on that one, but it definitely helps seeing how happy they are every time we go for a walk. So moving on to number 2, and this is probably one of my favorites on the list just because I have a fat soul, and that is comfort food or sweet treats. I love a good sweet treat, and this can be anything from getting in your car and driving to get some ice cream, or you can even bake at home. I really enjoy baking, and I think this is a great season for baking because all the fruits are super ripe. I actually made a rhubarb crumble the other day and it was delicious and so easy. And I would say it definitely boosted my mood when I was eating it. You can also cook your favorite comfort food. I go through stages where I hyperfixate on different foods. Currently right now it is Korean food. There was a point when I was eating it 2 to 3 times a week, which was not budget friendly, but it was good for my heart and soul. The third method that I would like to share is cleaning, and this can be as little or as large as you want it to be. It might just consist of doing the dishes or doing the laundry, or maybe just cleaning the area that you spend the most time in, or it can be a complete spring clean of your house. I feel like being in a clean environment just makes me feel like I have got my life together. So no matter how sad I am, if I put on my favorite podcast or I put on my favorite music and I clean my house, I feel better about life afterwards, because I'm like, wow, look at this woman, she's doing it all. So I highly recommend cleaning as a way of feeling less sad. Nothing makes me feel as alive as the smell of a Clorox wipe. Okay, moving on to number 4, which is also one of my favorites. I think these are all my favorites. This one is particularly special to me, and it is hobbies. If you don't already have hobbies inside the house, I highly recommend getting some. Get some hobbies. I specifically say inside the house because when you're sad, you don't really want to leave the house. At least I don't. To go and, I don't know, play sports. Ew. I don't want to play sports on a good day, let alone when I'm sad. All these hobbies I'm about to mention are good inside hobbies that really don't require much brain power, and you might already have some of them laying around the house that you have just forgotten about. Number 1 is gaming. I specifically enjoy cozy gaming, but any kind of gaming is a great distraction from feeling sad. I actually used this the other day. I filmed and edited and then deleted an entire video that I had filmed with my friend, and I was very upset about it. This is the first time it's happened. I know it's a rite of passage for anyone who wants to create media, but I was very, very upset about it, and it didn't help that I was also in a lot of pain that day. So I was just really, really sad. And so I used gaming to make me feel better. It was mostly really realistically a distraction. I played Luigi's Mansion 3 for 2-3 hours, and I went into it thinking that I was heartbroken, the world was ending. I can't believe I deleted that video, everyone's gonna think I'm a stupid idiot. And I came out of playing Luigi's Mansion with a much better perspective on life and much more of a, it's okay, these things happen, people make mistakes. So that definitely helped me that day. Some other cozy games that I would recommend if you're just thinking about getting into a game and you don't want to do high stakes or anything like that is Stardew Valley. That's one of my absolute favorites. I've played it for years. It really filled the Harvest Moon shaped hole in my heart, and I absolutely adore it. I also enjoy A Short Hike. It's a really good cozy game. It's a short game. I think it took me about 3 hours to complete it, which honestly is the perfect amount of time to make yourself not as sad. Cult of the Lamb is probably a little bit less cozy. It does have a lot of action in it. I think that the characters are really, really cute, and so that kind of evens it out for me. Fae Farm is another one of my favorites. Me and my friend Ellen play that together a lot, and it's very cozy, very sweet. The music is incredible, very soothing, and it's really fun to play multiplayer. Luigi's Mansion 3 is also really fun to play multiplayer. My next favorite inside hobby is reading. I love reading. I got back into reading a couple years ago, and I've been reading about 80 books a year. My favorite genre is romantasy. I absolutely love it. I think that reading is a great way to relax and take time for yourself, and also to just go into a completely different world. Different people, different world, different problems, and it kind of, you're able to distance yourself from your own emotions and your own sadness a little bit because you are distracted by the characters in the book. I also think one of the best things that you can do when you're feeling sad is to read one of the books that you read as a child. I did this recently, and I cannot describe the overwhelming feeling of happiness and nostalgia. And I don't know, it's probably good for your inner child too. The next cozy hobby is coloring books. I love coloring books. I have way too many. One of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling down, or just in general if I want to relax, is to sit down with a coloring book and an audiobook. And if you have Spotify and you didn't know, you can actually get 15 hours of free audiobook a month. So I use that, and I sit and I use my coloring books. I actually just got this one and I'm really excited about it. It looks so cute. Let me show you. Look at this. I'm gonna show you some more. Like, look how sweet that is. I have found all of my coloring books on Amazon. This one was actually recommended to me by my cousin Chloe. and I'm really glad that she did because I absolutely adore it. It's so cute. Another one. And then I also have the Creative Haven colouring books. These ones are really inexpensive on Amazon. I think they cost around maybe $8. If you're looking to get into colouring, I recommend these ones because they're really inexpensive. One of my favourite things to do is just sit and listen to an audiobook while I'm colouring, and it brings me so much joy and peace. And also it's a distraction from how I'm feeling on two different levels, in the colouring books and the audiobooks. So another hobby that I really enjoy are puzzles. I think puzzles are a really good way of getting you to concentrate on one thing. I think puzzles are really good at getting you to focus on something other than your constant inner thoughts. You also get that dopamine rush from completing a puzzle or finding the right pieces, and if you make one that you really like, you can use puzzle glue and turn it into a picture. I think that puzzles are kind of overlooked a lot of the time as something fun to do, but I really enjoy them. The last thing that I use to make myself feel better is to get cute. I mean this in the way of whatever makes you feel the most cute. For me, get cute is take a shower and wash my hair, do my bangs so they're not like greasy little rat tails on my forehead, and then I will do my skincare routine and my makeup. I will put on an outfit that makes me feel, for lack of a better word, whimsical. And by that I mean usually I'll put on like my favorite jewelry. I like to put on my food earrings. I don't know if you can see my earrings. The little cherry envelopes. That kind of stuff just makes me feel so good. I also like a little cardigan and a skirt, just like flowy and relaxed. And it always makes me feel better when I walk past a mirror and I'm not like jump scare from my own reflection. Those are the 5 things that help me when I'm feeling sad. I know that this might not cure everyone's sadness, but I really hope that you try it out the next time that you're having a bad day, because I feel like a combo of these or one on its own will really help you and how you're feeling. And if you have any ways that you use to feel better, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to add more things to my list. You can never have too many ways to feel less sad. On that note, me and Moose say thank you for watching. Thank you. And we'll see you soon with another video. Bye.